Everybody, this is Jeff, the business guru. 11 p.m. at night. Yes, I'm a hard worker. Been up since 3 a.m. at downtown Manila. And we've got an interesting guest today. You'll never forget her. Once you hear her or see her, you'll never forget her. I promise you. Right? We have a wonderful guest today called, from all the way from Florida, called Dr. Joe D. And doctor's role is health practitioner and holistic nutritionist. And company name, Foundational Health and Health-A-Pedia and Health-A-Pedia Publishing, 70 times best-selling author and publisher. That's enough times. Most of you guys are still trying to write your first book, right? Health and wellness. Been in the industry probably longer than me. Been in the industry, I can't believe it. Looking at her, you wouldn't think she's over 48 anyway, but she's been in the industry for 48 years. Her business, holistic health, publishing, Health-A-Pedia, motivational speaking, training on true health. Key projects, there's hundreds of them, guys. I'm not going to list them all, but we'll just do a little bit of a career summary here. With extensive background in health coaching and corporate consulting, Dr. Joe D has significantly impacted on the wellness of individuals, organizations alike. Her career highlights include, and she's going to tell you all about them shortly, and it's my great pleasure to welcome to the stage Dr. Joe B. Tell me, let's get this show underway. Tell us about your journey. What inspired you to start this all those years ago? Where did it all begin?
All these years ago. I just want to thank you, Jeff, not only, first of all, before I get into this, about your tenacity, your program, your systems, and it shows with your heart. So thank you for staying up almost 24 hours. Yes, as I'm here. And I will just say, Jeff, that music was my talent, but health became my passion. As I found myself a young woman, 28 years old, a toddler, and one baby on my hip. Ever get that phone call that just out of the blue? And what happened? It was ring, ring. Hey, Mama, how you doing? I'm not doing well, Jody. What's wrong, Mama? They say I have cancer. They gave me 6 months to live. And when I dropped to my heels, it was as if I rolled off the toilet paper, Jeff, until there was no more roll. And I knew immediately what I had done because my mama had given me hope. Because what did she give me, Jeff? She gave me hope when I was flat in a surgical halo, paralyzed from the shoulders on down, 3 years prior. And as you know, accomplished triathlete, nationally ranked in the U.S., even in the old people's division, there were more than 19 people there, and I was number 18 3 years ago. Okay. Fantastic. So what I'm saying about this, I've been running ever since, but I ran to get an airplane ticket. I ran to go ahead. You're
at Forrest Gump, a lot in common.
Yes, exactly. And I went back to my home state of Montana, and there I found the keys to my purpose and my passion of life. In the Little Laurel, Montana library was the book from Edgar Cayce. I found it there, blew off the dust, and I sprinted on up to the front with the librarian who checked it out. And in there, I found liquid gold. But what I found was 2 years length of life for my mother, quality of life, way beyond her 6 weeks to live diagnosis. Because as Les Brown says, my teacher trainer, that your diagnosis is not your prognosis.
Absolutely.
And your prognosis does not have to be your diagnosis. So when my mother was getting ready, Jeff, to transition from this life to the next, she looked up to me and she said, Jody, in this Norwegian accent. She's like, cute little accent. She had a cute little accent too. She said, Jody, give others hope the way you've given it to me. And that's what I've done now for 47 years.
Love it.
That's my story. Because what does hope stand for, Jeff? You know what it stands for me? Heal. Go down into yourself. Go up in opportunity to your true north. Come in positivity and be and live the law of attraction. And then go out to empower first yourself and then the world.
Yep. Never give up. What's been the most challenging aspect of your work, and how have you overcome that over the years?
Well, when I started this, Jeff, I was one certification. I remember seeing this little old lady back in the store of the health food store, and she was so lonely. And you see, I was a pioneer. She was just so happy to see me when we picked up Bragg's apple cider vinegar, and I got some pH strips to do alkalinity. She thought I had come up with liquid gold because nobody did this. But see, you got the pH strips here, right? I always train and teach. But what the challenging thing is that I wanted to give people health that needed it, to turn it back and say, I am here if you want it.
Awesome. Love the story. Tell us an important moment in your career that changed your direction. I guess that was with your mum. And other times, what changed your direction? Where was that aha moment?
That aha moment, of course, with my mother, as I said, but then just to reiterate what happened. I mean, I had two sons, and the youngest was me with testosterone. Okay. And how do you get kicked out of pre-kindergarten? Well, he did. I picked him up from preschool that day because they said, well, he was a disturbing element. He had ADHD and he needs to be on medication. Well, he had really blonde hair at that time, still has a beautiful aquamarine eyes. And he looked at me and he said, Mommy, am I always going to be sad? Well, I turned into Mama Beast mode.
Love it.
And we went home. I made him lunch, and on the TV show, now I'm dating myself. I'll tell anyone I'm 71, haven't much fun. Okay.
Fantastic.
And this was when, in my my late 20s.
Yeah.
And here on Phil Donahue was Hulda Clark, changed my life, game changer. Now, Edgar Casey was the mentor of Hulda Clark. See the lineage as we're going here, Jeff. Then she said it was a back to school a time. And you probably remember Phil Donahue was a big deal on daytime TV.
Sure.
And what happened is that she said, perhaps it's not these initials, she said in her duck accent, the ADHD. Perhaps these children need to grow into their brilliance. Well, I dropped our luncheon sandwiches on the floor. Pieces of the china were everywhere. And I said, we're finding her. When she said she lived in Atlanta, is where we lived at that time. Now, there was no GPS. There was no MapQuest, no nothing,
Sure.
but a desire in a mother's heart. And my son was sure, he goes, what are we going to do when we find this lady? I said, we're going to get in and we're going to find what you need. But you see, how did I do this? Because of my passion and purpose.
Sure.
I went on Main Street in Alpharetta, Georgia, looked for every person who had Birkenstocks on, looked like they were vegetarian, and a woman who didn't dye her hair. Okay, that was my focus.
Yeah.
And when I said to my son, when we find her, now you wouldn't necessarily do this now, but we found her address, knocked on the door, and he said, Mommy, what am I supposed to do? Remember, he was real cute. Big aquamarine eyes. I said, when I squeeze your shoulder, you just smile.
Right.
So we knocked on the door. When we knocked on the door, Jeff, and she came to the door. Now, mind you, Hulda Clark was 70 at the time. That's why I told you my age, 71.
Yes.
And I said, Dr. Clark, I want you to see my son. She said, I'm not seeing any more patients. You see, I'm retired. I said, but you will see him now, won't you? Squeeze the shoulder. He smiled.
Yeah.
We were in. We were in. And in 3 days, this pristine, clean protocol that I still teach to this day. And as you see, I'm a part of the Hulda Clark Legacy Foundation. That's how impactful the power of one, when time meets destiny. And
Really?
took him back to preschool. They said, well, what'd you do with him? Did you get the prescription? And I said, no, I just gave him a vitamin. And I said, gave him a vitamin, didn't say a word, but I booked it back up to Alpharetta. No Georgia 400, no whatever, except I knew from my heart, I must be mentored by Dr. Clark. So I knocked on her door again. She said,
Sure.
well, hello, Jody. How's your little one doing? I said, great. But I didn't say, could I be mentored by you? It's that purpose and passion. I said,
Yes.
I must be mentored by you. And she said, but I'm not taking on any more clients, let alone mentees. And I said, Dr. Clark, in all due respect,
It's a legacy.
what if I'm the person? Yes. What if I'm the person that's supposed to carry your message after you're gone? And Jeff, I don't know whether this is going to show up, but you can see in here, there's a gold card that I wrote in 1984, 41 years ago. It's yellow, it's faded, March 1984. I said, I will pen the Eastern medical version of the PDR. And after I retired and then unretired because of COVID, that's when Health-A-Pedia and
Fantastic.
our 2 award-winning books. And yes, you've got an opportunity to be in our men's book, because ladies before gentlemen, the men's book is coming up. And check this out. Even 16 platforms. This is how you do it. You know these 40 authors in the back?
Sure.
Half of them are young people, just like I was with Dr. Clark.
Sure.
You already hit the nail on the head. That's your 300 million episodes that you're doing and tracking people down like me. I'm so grateful. Guess what? This is our legacy. And that's my legacy to pass on from Dr. Clark.
Yeah, we haven't got a job. We've got a passion. We're so happy. We're just laughing because we've got a passion. Until you find your passion, you're not alive. You come alive when you get your passion, right?
Yes.
Tell me, in your opinion, what are the key qualities or skills that have helped contribute to your success along the way?
Oh, it's what you just said. Passion for people and passion for going down to that foundational health. It must, finally, see, my sons were absolute world-ranked NCAA champions, big athletic family swimmers. They were never sick. Why? Because of pristine, clean. You see, parasites are finally getting the word out there. People are being awakened and aware.
Sure.
Because parasites are either going to be on Mars or they're going to be in your body. I just assume they'll be in outer space. That is the passion and purpose. That's what I'm still doing to this end. When I was in my traditional practice, Jeff, I had over 1.1 million pounds of toxic fat lost with only a 5% recidivism rate. And I said, I really wonder whether 1 million pounds of that were probably parasites. I think so. We didn't gain it back because it's a foundational cleaning that will last you the rest of your life.
Tell me, how do you stay motivated and continue to innovate in your field as you do?
How do I stay motivated? Talking to people like you, getting the message out. I'm just going to blow you a big kiss from Florida. Thank you so much for finding me. It's such a pleasure. And when you find that purpose or passion, I don't work at my relationships. Right. I feed on my relationship. I don't work at work. I feed on my work.
Love it. Yeah. Tell us about a recent project or achievement amongst your many that you're particularly proud of.
Whew. Gosh, I don't know. I'm just going to pick one. I would probably say when I actually got awarded 2 things. Being a part of Dr. Hulda Clark's Legacy Foundation as a permanent board member is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And I think another couple of things is that, and I'm not going to get into the vax, no vax or whatever, but my partner and I in Health-A-Pedia, we created this product, this immune boosting panacea that we were able to just help the immune system for countless lives. I'm not even going to give you the number, just you guess, with no mortalities over the pandemic. And it's just finding, see, when I get that passion, I get a little bit of a cough and my nose itches. Yeah. So get ready for that. See, because I know that it works, because when your immune system is high, then you're in optimal health. And I would say professionally, when I was awarded from the previous administration, the Lifetime Achievement Award by President Biden, that was a big deal. And now I'm going to be giving from President Trump's office the Lifetime Achievement Awards to the next run here with WHPI at the University of Arkansas. And I'm going to say the last but not least, when I was able to receive from my husband, who recently transitioned from this world to the next, yes, that I received posthumously for him the Ambassador Peace Award from the UN.
Oh, yeah,
That's going to propel me to on forever, because they're allowing me, the UN is allowing me to set up a permanent foundation and memorial scholarship fund for my husband, who was the foremost archaeologist of this era, and he did a lot of digging in Australia, and I was with him.
Yeah, interesting. My view on COVID, by the way, I'll give you my personal view, and I was a layman. I said, right from word go, I said, listen, this is bullshit. This is an aggressive form of the flu. Similar. This is my thought. An aggressive form of the flu, similar to Spanish flu many, many moons ago. And if you smoke and drink and don't look after yourself and you're 50 plus, you may die because you've got a pretty poor immune system. If, however,
exactly,
you looked after yourself, go and drink plenty of water, get out in the sunshine, have some chicken soup and exercise, you'll probably be okay. That was my thoughts. So, no,
absolutely. And since you said, I was just going to interject something. Since you said the Spanish flu, this was an herbal remedy by my partner, Dr. James Marinakis from Health-A-Pedia, who Dr. William J. Hulls was the man, doctor of osteopathy, that eradicated the Spanish flu with a formula similar to this.
There you go. So I'm on the right track.
See?
Right?
The body is a miracle-making machine. It can and will heal itself.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you listen to it, you know, it's the same as you people out there. You got to listen to your second
shoulder.
brain. Yeah, listen to your gut.
Yes.
Listen to your gut.
Yes.
That's your second brain, right? Listen to your body. If your body's aching, it's telling you something. Like, listen. You got to listen. That's the whole point, right?
Wasn't Olivia Newton-John from Australia?
She was indeed. Amazing woman.
Oh, guess what? She had a wonderful, wonderful song about that. Listen to your body talk, body talk.
Yeah. Very good. You got it all. Tell me, what advice would you give a 20-year-old version of yourself today that wanted to be in your footsteps?
To be in listen to your real brain, your gut, as you say, but I call it the gallbladder, but listen to your heartbeat of the spirit. It's mind, body, spirit. Listen to what makes you tick, what makes you that just energizes you on your business part. But there's a piece that we do, and that's why I've got our backdrop from Greece. My partner, my mentor, Dr. James Marinakis, we're doing a renewal retreat in Greece. Reach out to me if you want details. And what he teaches is the process. If you go to Health-A-Pedia 365, you will see this process, because we so often, especially those of us in America, maybe you Aussies are smarter. I think everybody's smarter than Americans on this one, because we keep looking on our checking account, and the balance is depleted. And then we say, we only have a finite amount of energy, because energy creates vitality, which transcends into longevity. I'm living proof. But how about this, Jeff? If you go ahead and you put things in your savings account, you 20-year-old, put and grow your savings account. This is the process. So you will have more and a larger checking account. Make your health really is your wealth.
Absolutely.
Make your health the primo number one, and look at what you do. I have a blog. It's called the 10 Rituals to Rock Your Day. You do these simple rituals will give you the right habits and the complete destiny that you want. When you're 71 and you can too say 71, oh, what fun.
Yeah, that's the one. And you're right about habits. Habits are awesome. 21 days to form a habit, guys. So, and stack them. Get one habit, then stack another one on that, and another one, and another.
Did you just plug my book that I wrote during COVID for my dissertation, The 21 Days to Your Best You? Thank you very much. You plugged that. What a great host you are, Jeff, because that's that reticular activating system. It's that circadian rhythm. Listen to that. Everybody's talking about quantum. That's seeing with your soul, but find your rhythm daily, weekly, 21 days.
Yes. And stack the habits, guys. Stack them. Don't stop at one.
Yes.
Once you've achieved one, get to the next one, and the next, and the next, and stack them. Stack up those good
Yes.
habits, guys. Everything in moderation, guys. Doesn't matter what it is. Everything in
Yes.
moderation, right? You can drink. You can do a lot of things, but just do everything in moderation. It's that simple. And
one ounce of alcohol is fine.
Yeah.
And it really cleanses your body. It's very good for the cardiovascular, by the way.
Yeah,
yes.
Have a Scotch and Coke every day, after work every day. I mean, it's smarter when I have one. What advice would you give? Oh, we've done that one. Looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for the future? You've got a long way to go yet. What are your goals and aspirations?
Oh, well, because I'm going to live to 120. We've got a product that's that way. And my goals in future.
See you at my birthday.
There we go. The next 10 years, I said 2035, that I will be the primary female change agent for the social health of humanity.
Fantastic. What a goal. That's a lofty goal. And I think you're on the right track.
Yes.
Very much so. How can our listeners and people watching this wonderful event, how can they reach out and find out more about you and what you can do for the world?
Well, I'm just like Spider-Man, only the female version. I'm everywhere. You can go primarily onto Instagram to Health Coach Jody. That's spelled Jodee. Yeah. We have a business page, Health-A-Pedia 365. Our YouTube channel is the same, Health-A-Pedia 365. Facebook, Health-A-Pedia page, also LinkedIn. Got several 100,000 followers just on Jody Nylander Baer, because I've done it for a long time. But most primarily, go to drjodee.com. You will find these blogs on alkaline eating. There'll be a site that you can chew if you want to remotely do the pristine clean for that 21 days. You mentioned it for sure. That circadian rhythm. And also Health-A-Pedia 365, we can find out more about grease. As I said, with Dr. Jim, we're only taking 30 motivated people that want more out of their life. And I'm going, well, I'm not deifying him, except he's world renowned, and the world only holds 5 healers like this at one time. I'm thankfully been trained by one of the 5, and thinking that Hulda Clark, then Dr. Jim, I must have been doing something right in my life.
Absolutely.
All right. But I said to Jim, I said, well, let's see, there was a guy that lived, he had like 12 guys that went with him. So I'm not deifying you. I guess 30, you've got to have a few more, because you're not perfect.
Fair enough. Tell us, before we wrap it up, tell us a fun fact about yourself that most people don't know. You've done a lot. What don't they know?
Well, I mentioned that I was an opera singer and all of that. And I mentioned I was a triathlete. And I guess that I want to just elaborate on this, because when you have been paralyzed from the shoulders on down, I was just, once again, everything hit you out of the blue. Lincoln Continental. I was on my way to singing the solo performance to Handel's Messiah, Jeff. Never made it. And knowing when you're face down, you can't feel. That's when mindset is skill set. And what did I do? My mama was there. I read the Bible cover to cover in 6 months.
Yeah.
But if you can keep that mindset, and without a doubt, I don't care what happens to you. I love The Secret. I watch it probably 3 or 4 times a month. Okay. Just because it's a divinely inspired movie. But Jeff, I can tell you one thing about this, is that there is not one time since I was that young girl at 24, paralyzed from the shoulders on down, when I wake up in the morning, I wiggle my toes. And when I hit the floor by the bed, I said gratitude, because everything works.
Well, funny you
and
say
everything
that,
works.
because I'm 77, and it's sad I'm going to run out of life before I run out of things to do. There's so much I want to do, and I know I won't get it all done. I'll get as much done as I can. But one of the things that always in the back of my mind, I said, I hope one day I don't wake up with a dicky knee, and I can't do the things I want to do because of that dicky knee.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Well, and now that you've met me, we'll take care of the dicky knee too. And
yeah, that's right.
That's why we found each other.
So far, so good. But it's always been my worry that I can't go and do what I want to do, which is keep moving. You know, it's so sad for you people watching this. Some of you guys have never left your suburb, let alone your town, let alone your country. Get off your ass and travel, guys. It broadens the mind. It's such a wonderful experience. You'll thank me. You'll never want to stop traveling. Traveling is so effing awesome for the people you meet and the experiences you have. So get out there, guys, and make it happen. Just like our
maybe even make it happen. Maybe make it happen on private messenger on Facebook. I want to thank you one more time for just being tenacious, and we found each other different time zones, different things. But that is probably the thing I want to leave last with your listeners and your vast audience, because it's not relationship, it's real relationship.
That's right.
You see, Jeff, take your hand. You've probably done this with your million episodes, but take your right hand, put it over your heart. I want you to feel your heart beating.
Right
Be with me.
Yeah.
Yes. Over your heart. Yeah. Then take your left hand over your right.
Yeah.
Guess what? Your heart beats stronger, because at the end, we need each other. Health is not something you do. It's what you become along life's journey.
Yeah. I want to thank you, Jody. You've been an awesome guest. And guys, if you want your 15 minutes of fame, and come on, every man and woman here's got a story. Come on and tell your story, guys. Think about it. TV commercial is going to set you back $30,000, and they'll probably go to the loo or make a burger or grab a drink while the commercial's on. Your city, 10 radio spots going to set you back $3,000 or $5,000, and guess what? They're going to play them at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning when people are asleep. So guys, come on 15 minutes of fame, and we'll put you all across social media and potentially put you in front of thousands of people who could become your advocates or your clients. So the order's there, guys. Come on 15 minutes of fame and make it all happen. Thanks very much, Jody, for being on the show.
Thank you, Jeff. Want you on mine as well. It'll be fun. Lots of fun.